Hi there, fellow devotees of the animated realm. It's Aniofi, returning to your screens with yet another spectacular creation. Hold on tight because this video is going to hit you right in the feels. Today we will be plunging headfirst into Thorfinn's Dream that goes beyond entertainment. It's a soul-shaking experience that'll make you question your choices and ignite a fire of inspiration within you. From the fiery fury of revenge to the flicker of hope, we are uncovering every twist and turn of Thorfinn's emotional odyssey. Get ready to be moved, inspired, and energized like never before, because this ain't your average anime tale. A spark ignites, revisiting the origins of the dream. In Season 2 of Vinland Saga, the whole dynamic of our protagonist completely shifts. The young warrior who initially pursued vengeance for the murder of his father, Thors, gradually transitions towards a dream of creating a world devoid of slavery and war. But where does such a monumental vision take root? Let me explain. Thorfinn's exposure to the brutalities of war and the exploitation of the unslaved begins at a young age. He fought in many battles and saw how violence and enslavement dehumanized people. This continuous exposure cultivated a deep-seated empathy within him for the victims, fueling a desire to alter his reality.
逃げろ。お待ち。
The unfortunate story of Arnheid. However, a significant factor in the birth of his dream occurs after his encounter with a slave girl who was a living representation of the world's harshest cruelties. Arnheid, a woman who was enslaved after her village in Sweden, uncovered a rich iron settlement. The discovery of iron led to a conflict with other residents who wanted control over the valuable resource. Feeding this greed was the biggest mistake they could have made. The villager goes to war over iron, and Arnheid's husband, Gardar, joins the battle. The village ultimately loses, resulting in the enemy raiding the settlement, burning homes, killing the elderly, and capturing the women. And when you thought things couldn't get worse, they did. Amidst the chaos, tragedy strikes, as their one-year-old son, Hjalti, is cruelly snatched away by the enemy. Arnheid, consumed by anguish, initially blames Gardar for their heartbreaking separation, leading her to be enslaved in a different area. However, a twist of fate alters her perception when she learns that Gardar had been tirelessly searching for her and their son. Their hopes are rekindled, but destiny, that sweet old destiny, proves unkind as usual. Gardar meets his demise at the hands of a guard, following a desperate clash with the residents at Ketil's farm. The whereabouts of their beloved son, Hjalti, remains unknown, leaving Arnheid and Gardar's hearts filled with lingering pain as they let go of their last breaths. This was a heart-rending realization. Thorfinn saw the injustice that he and all others had turned a blind eye to, and in the heartbreaking moment, the world around him changed. The brave tales of the battlefield seemed hollow, and the glory of war felt like a cruel joke in the face of her quiet demise. She was not a warrior, nor a conqueror, merely a fragile life caught in the unforgiving tide of their era. Yet her story was one that echoed the tales of countless others. Their dreams crippled by oppression, their spirits crushed under the heavy hand of war, and their lives thrown away to slavery. In her quiet suffering and untimely death, Thorfinn saw the ugly face of the world, stripped bare of its heroic veneer. Echoes from the past. As Thorfinn swayed in terror and pain, his father's words about love, peace, and the true essence of a warrior suddenly hit him with a newfound force. The ideals he once considered as mere sermon began to shine with wisdom. It was a rude awakening, but it was also a spark of rebellion against the norms, a spark of hope for a better world, and a spark of commitment to make a change. Arnheid's life was tragically cut short, but it ignited a fire within Thorfinn, pushing him onto a path he had never imagined. He found a mission, a dream to create a world without war and slavery, a world where no life is silenced or forgotten. It was a daunting journey, but Thorfinn was ready, inspired by a memory of a girl who had never known freedom, vowing that her suffering would not be in vain. A world without slavery and war, Thorfinn's vision. After all this pain and suffering Thorfinn had just witnessed, let's just say he's done. Done with the senseless brutality, done with the inequality, done with the system that thrives on the broken. Out of the ashes of his despair, a remarkable aspiration takes root. A world where fairness isn't a fairy tale, but the guiding principle of society. He remembers the tales of Leif Erikson about a distant land of promise, Vinland. Over there, he visualizes a society where no individual would be subjugated by another, where all people would have the right to live freely and peacefully. Vast meadows stretching beyond the horizon, far away from the ravages of war, where disputes are settled not with the sword, but with understanding and dialogue. Now, this dream of his isn't just a silly thought. It's a big, bold idea that goes against everything the Vikings are used to. Inspired by his dad's words and shaped by his own tough past, Thorfinn's dream is a total 180 from his earlier goal of getting revenge. It's not just a change, but a whole new direction that is set to shake up his world. Get ready because things are about to get interesting. Turning inwards, self-reflection and personal transformation. Thorfinn decides to be the change he wants to see, and that means starting with himself. This is when he starts one of the most beautiful performances of self-reflection I have ever seen. He takes a hard look at his life and realizes his old quest for revenge was a dead end, leading him down a path of nothing but pain and regret. So he makes a bold choice, a choice that would make even the toughest Viking quiver. He decides to hang up his sword, even swearing off killing for self-defense. Yes, you heard that right. Thorfinn, the Viking warrior refusing to kill. Talk about a plot twist. But there's more. He begins to embrace forgiveness as his new weapon, a tool to free himself from the chains of his haunted past. This isn't just a step, it's a giant leap towards his dream. Stay tuned, because this new Thorfinn is about to rock the boat in a way you wouldn't believe. Adopting pacifism, embracing nonviolence. He's not just putting down his sword, he's reaching out to encourage others to do the same. Our hero takes a stand against the bloodshed and emerges as a warrior of a different kind, a peace advocate. Remember the 100 punches he took just to see Canute? Thorfinn didn't just hop onto the circle of violence and killed every single Viking present. Instead, he earned their respect through a demonstration of pure conviction. You can see this fresh approach at play when all those hulking warriors were left speechless. This was only because Thorfinn defeated them, not with a weapon but with words. He's using negotiation and dialogue as his new tools of battle to resolve disputes, a stark contrast to his past tactics. Inspiring others, a leader emerges. As Thorfinn pursues his vision, he begins to inspire those around him, gradually assuming a role he never expected: leadership. He teaches others about the value of peace and the futility of revenge. This is clearly seen in an emotion-filled reunion between Thorfinn and Canute. Their meeting crackles with a history steeped in blood and betrayal, but guess what? Instead of longing for Canute's throat, Thorfinn stands before him, not as a vengeful ghost from the past, but as a peace-bringing figure of the present. And trust me, this face-off is worth every heartbeat-skipping moment. Now here's where things get even more interesting. The saga's drama hits fever pitch when Canute unfurls his twisted belief that to craft an earthly paradise, one must defy God. He envisions his salvation plan solely for the Vikings. But Thorfinn, in an exhilarating curveball, responds not with violence, but by choosing to run. Thorfinn calls out Canute, questioning if all he desires is a bloodbath right there. He reflects on Canute's dream, a dream that saves many, but at the cost of oppressing a few. Caught in this moral mess, Thorfinn acknowledges that he lacks the right to challenge Canute's convictions. His only option? To turn his back and run. And it's this very act of defiance that elevates the story to new heights. And at this very moment, Thorfinn taps into the minds of every Viking present there. They're all left baffled, questioning what they believe as they witness this incredible show of wisdom. But in that very instant, they're all inspired by the actions of a true leader. A beacon of hope, the legacy of Thorfinn's journey. Hang on tight, because the journey Thorfinn embarks on extends far beyond personal redemption. His mission of finding Vinland is a spark of hope in a world steeped in violence and oppression. Through his relentless pursuit of his dream, he illustrates that change, no matter how improbable, is within our grasp, offering a reminder that transformation always begins with a single step, and that first step resides inside of you. And that's it, folks. Let's all raise our horns to Thorfinn, the most peace-loving Viking, the unexpected philosopher, the man of the hour. Here's to more head-scratching, awe-inspiring, and unpredictable adventures in the seasons to come. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Check out some of our previous videos on the screen right now. And this is Annie Ophi signing off. Peace.